Welcome back to another episode of All Things Plastics. Today, I'm joined by Amanda, a powerhouse esthetician and part-time influencer with nearly 200,000 followers. At just 31, Amanda has built her own business in Atlanta, Georgia, while also navigating the world of aesthetics, both professionally and personally. She's been so open about her surgical journey, starting back in 2017 with her first procedure in the Dominican Republic. And since then, she's undergone multiple transformations, including a breast lift with implants, lipo, BBL, chin lipo, and buccal fat removal. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into Amanda's experiences, from what motivated her to start to how those choices have impacted her life and career today. Welcome, Amanda, to the podcast.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. This is my first podcast, so you have took my virginity.
And yes, girl, and it's only right. Your whole social media platform is like tailored to plastic surgery and sharing your journey and skincare and beauty. So it's only right you come on a plastic surgery podcast, girl.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So excited. And when I found your page, it came up on my For You page, and I was like,
okay,
who is this? What? Oh my God. I was so invested. I was like, I need to DM her right away because everything that she posts about is literally what I preach about.
Yeah, I don't believe in gatekeeping. I never have. So I've always been open.
And I want to dive into that right now. Like, have you always been in the beauty, skincare, and even plastic surgery field? Like, when did that start really becoming a passion for you?
So as far as skincare, I have not always been in skincare.
Okay.
It's always been a hobby of mine personally. I just played with it in college. I have a bachelor's degree in PR, of all things. So I just did my own skincare, and then I went to aesthetic school when I graduated from college. So I graduated in 2016. My first surgery, like I said, was 2017 or 15. Honestly, those dates might be wrong, girl. It might have been earlier. It might have been like 15. Because it was before I graduated from college. So I graduated in 2016. So I think my first surgery might have been 2015 or 14.
Dang. Over a decade ago. How crazy how fast time flies.
Yeah.
So you went to esthetician school, you got out, and then is that when you started getting more into it and posting about it and starting your online presence?
Well, the YouTube, good old girl YouTube, she's been on rock solid since day one. YouTube has always been a day one. I was on YouTube in college with my first surgery and Real Self. You know Real Self, right?
Yes.
So I started blogging on Real Self 2015-16. So that was my first surgery. I talked about it, but it was on those social media platforms back then. We had Instagram and stuff, but it wasn't like it was today.
Did your surgery journey back then blow up on YouTube?
No. So my first surgery that honestly got a lot of views was my second surgery.
Okay.
And it was my gift to myself for graduating college. I went to Houston to Dr. Cortez. He goes by Hourglass Doctor something. And I got liposuction then and arm lipo.
Okay.
And he was big on Snapchat. So he was like, can I film you? And da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah. So I blogged that and he blogs it. And I posted that actual video from surgeries on my YouTube. So that was like the beginnings was YouTube.
Love that. YouTube, it's hard. Sometimes it takes off. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And that one really, I think, only took off because I put in the description that my actual video from my surgery was in my YouTube video. So it was like a 30-minute video and I had a clip from my surgery. So that blew up.
Yeah. Now, I love how you said when I graduated esthetician school, I, got my surgery as a gift, or my second one as a gift to myself. Girl, same. When I graduated nursing school, I swear a week later, I was on that operating table and I was getting my breasts done. I said, this is my gift.
Why not?
I want to start off with how did you start becoming an influencer and what were you posting more of in the beginning?
Definitely. I don't know how I got started. I think it's just my personality. I'm an Aquarius. I'm very talkative. I make friends everywhere I go. I attract people. I don't even know if that's a thing.
It is.
But people always would come up to me like, girl, you're so pretty. You're this, you're that. And they would compliment me. And a lot of the times I think it just happened naturally. Like I said, before Instagram and TikTok, I was doing blogs, right? Doing that. So even before the camera came, it was something natural to me. So honestly, I don't even know. It just
you kind of just started posting on Instagram and the followers came in, but it wasn't really intentional. You're just sharing what you wanted to share.
Yeah, I was just sharing what I wanted to share, and people would ask, like, "Hey, girl, who did your surgery? Who did this or who did that?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? Let me just make a video so we could just get all that out of the way." And then it just became natural.
So you started sharing your surgery journey way back when, before it started becoming popular. Because we see these trends. Come with me to get my breast done. Come with me to surgery day. Prep for me for my BBL.
And back then, if you remember, it wasn't as open as it is now.
No,
It was not
absolutely
as
not.
open. It was like taboo.
The girls were gatekeeping back then, sharing their surgery journeys.
It was taboo. It was like, no, but it was not as open as it is now. So I am glad that it is more open now, because people will just be like, girl, I don't care. I got lipo. I got this. I got that. So it wasn't as open back then, though.
We are definitely in the plastic surgery transformation era, where everyone is so open. Everyone is willing to educate other girls and share where they got it done and what they needed and how much things cost. Like, it's amazing. And we're definitely in a new light, because 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, like, no one was saying anything.
And what's crazy, because I've been in the game so long, I'm only 31. Like, and I've had a lot of, like, my first surgery was at 20. I was 20 years old. So, and I'm 31 now.
You've built a following of 200,000 followers, and that's just on Instagram. I don't even know what you have on YouTube or TikTok. I didn't add all the numbers together. But do you get a lot of backlash for posting about plastic surgery, or is your community of the girls pretty strong?
The girls are about 95% strong.
Okay.
You know, of course, you get the, I love my natural body.
Yes.
Nobody asked. Girl. Like, I don't understand. But
she said nobody asked.
Like 95% of my followers, or the people that find me from For You pages and stuff, they are positive. And that's all that matters.
Good. You are on the good side of Instagram. So I'm happy about that, because plastic surgery, as we know, can be a touchy subject, especially for the girls that be posting all natural, no Botox, no lip filler, no lipo, no BBL. Where my natural
and
girls
I'm like,
at?
do you, boo-boo? But don't come in my comments like,
yes,
why are you here?
Yes. Let's dive into your surgical journey, girl. You got your first surgery roughly in 2015, 2016, and you chose to go to the Dominican Republic. Girl. What did you get done in the DR?
I got lipo and a BBL.
Went straight for
let
it.
me put that out there. I've only had one BBL, and there's a debate on my page right now. In my comments are of people saying they feel like a fat transfer to the hips is the same as a BBL. That's what's going on in my comments right now in one of my videos. And girl, I disagree with that, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yes, I mean, to an extent. So you can have a fat transfer anywhere in your body, right? Anywhere. And when you go into surgery, if women want a more conservative look, or they already have enough fat back there, they'll say, hey, doc, I want my hip dips filled. I kind of want that S shape. So the doctor will only transfer it to the side, the lateral part of the hips. But then you have your other ones who's like, I want the full BBL, where they'll do the back, the side, the top,
butt lift, the Brazilian butt lift.
Yes.
So I have one BBL, and that was my first surgery. Like I said, I was like 20 years old. It was before my 21st birthday. So I was 20, and I was like a sophomore going into my junior year of college. I got it done over the summer. So that was my first surgery.
And back in 2015, 2016, BBLs, I mean, we had like booty shots, we had all of that. But BBL fat transfer wasn't crazy on the market yet.
And you, girl, I will never forget. I probably can find it. My quote. You want to know how much it paid?
Let me guess. I'm going to go with 2015. You're in the DR. We're going to talk US dollars. I'm going to say 5,000. If it's lower than that, I'm going to shit myself.
About 41. About 41.
Okay.
Yeah.
$41,000. That's crazy.
So yeah, for liposculpture, they call it liposculpture when you do your back, your flanks, your stomach, and the BBL. So that also includes your hips, but your butt.
Yes.
But it was like 4,200 in 2015. And then of course I pay for flight and a recovery home. But so I spent about 5,000 in total. Girl, that price is out the window now.
No, unless you go deep down to TJ, honey. But TJ's are even charging $10,000, $10,000 US dollars for that BBL.
This podcast will be 5 hours long if we go there.
No, but what in your mind, your young mind, made you choose, I'm going to go get lipo BBL, and I'm going to go all the way to the DR, honey? What in the world?
It was, the New York girlies, the bottle girls, the star tenders. They really set the trend because a lot of them are Hispanic, a lot of them are from the DR. So back then, you know,
Oh.
I was following girls like Morgan is Tatted, I think her name is. She's a star tender. You remember Gracie, and you remember it was like the OG IG girls,
Okay.
IG girls. They're bottle girls and starlets and things, and
Huh?
a lot of them are Dominican, or if anything, Puerto Rican. And a lot of the
Yeah.
time, deep into the blogs of my research, found that a lot of these they were. I was like, who was doing their body? Who was doing their body? It was DR. So of course, I just the deep into real self was my own Google, and real self back then was my only way of researching.
Yep, the only search engines that you can kind of
The only way I
trust.
could find out because they weren't open. You couldn't just DM a girl like me and say, "Girl, who's your surgeon? Can you give me their contact?" Girl, bye. No.
So yeah, you saw these like OG baddies, and it's like, where were they going? And they were flying their butts down south from New York all the way to the DR. And obviously, it was obviously much cheaper than getting a BBL in New York or Florida
And it
or
wasn't
wherever.
really even the price. It was the results. That is what I will always tell people. If you're looking at surgery in the DR, it's the results. Girl, if I found a surgeon in the US that was snatching like the DR, I would have stayed in the US. I didn't. I didn't. So
I like how at least you were going for like the look and the aesthetic and what they can give you rather than just going, I'm going to the DR because I'm trying to save $5,000. So
no.
I do like that.
The price was an extra win on top of the results.
Yes. Now, was everything smooth in the DR between your travel, your recovery home stay, the surgeon, no complications?
Yeah, girl. I mean, obvious that was my first surgery, and obviously it went amazing because I kept going back. So not only that, my mom ended up going back a few times because of me. I had friends and so forth, so hence my influencing journey. But
Yes.
it was amazing. I mean, they're board certified surgeons and doctors, and there's this myth going around that these people are just random people in back alleys injecting tire fluid into your butt or something, and it's
Not
insane to
tire
me.
fluid. Now, I just interviewed a girl, Maricel, and actually she didn't go to the DR. She went to Colombia,
Mhm.
Barranquilla, Colombia. And I say, look, there's good and bad surgeons everywhere. And if
Everywhere?
everywhere, even the US, even
Even New
Miami,
York, girl.
even Beverly Hills, even New York.
In Miami, in New York, yes.
Now, the thing I'm cautious with, and I tell the girls, when you're traveling to another country, you have to do your research even more than you would in the States.
Yeah.
Because you're in a foreign country. You probably don't speak that language.
There is a language barrier.
Yes. And what happens if there is an emergency, even a small emergency? Like these are things that you really have to prepare for, because at the end of the day, even if you're flying to the DR to get a breast aug, surgery is still surgery and complications can happen. So girls, yes, you might see a great surgeon in the DR, but do deeper research and be more prepared than ever.
You have no idea. I've been in this game so long, and I've given so much advice to girls. I've even had followers or girls like ask me, like, can you come with me to the DR or surgery just so, because you like, and I'm like, and I was in school back then. I'm like, girl, I can't go with you. But it was the fact that they trusted me and my opinion and what I know, that they were like, you should be like a travel surgery person. And I was like, I don't have time for that. I just do this on the side. Okay. So, but I mean, I've even had those type of offers.
Yeah, because unlike pages like mine or yours, and you've been doing it way longer than me, there's no one really out there supporting the girls and educating them and giving them real honest advice. It's very hard to come by. Nowadays, we're seeing more and more, social media platforms and nurses and surgeons and all the people popping up and, sharing education. But yeah, I mean, it's still rare for platforms
it's
like
still rare.
ours.
People still gatekeep. People still lie. So, I mean, that's not going anywhere.
Now, you went to the DR. You had a great experience. Thank goodness. And what was your next procedure? You're like, girl, I look snatched. My lipo BBL is BBLing. And what were you ready for next?
So that one was before I graduated. I was like 2015, 16. And then I graduated from college in 2016, May 2016.
Okay.
My trip, my gift to myself was another surgery. Because at this point, 2 years had passed since my first surgery.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about lipo be lipoing. And if you're not doing your lipo thing, it doesn't be as snatch as usual.
I was going to say, you weren't following those post-operative instructions, girl.
Don't even. And I was in college. I was drinking. I was partying. I was
living
doing
it up.
whatever. And I was like, I don't say anymore. But the next surgery was the one that kind of blew up the most. And that was the one where I went to Houston to see Dr. Cortez or Dr. Hourglass. And he's actually, word on the street, allegedly, one of Delicious's from Flavor of Love. That's one of her surgeons. So that was like, honestly, I really liked how he did her work back then.
Yeah. My goodness. And so you flew all the way to Houston and you got your
Mhm.
revision lipo
Yes, and I got arm lipo.
and arm lipo.
Mhm.
How much was your liposuction procedure in Houston? Do you remember?
So I ended up paying with care credit actually for this
Yes.
one.
Uh-huh.
I did do that, and I had a limit or a max of 5 grand on my
Yes.
care credit
That's
card.
usually, uh-huh.
I think it was right at the 5 grand or something. It
I
was
was
more
gonna
than my
say,
whole surgery in DR.
I was about to say that. I bet that just the lipo and the lipo of the arms in Houston was the same price as your full surgery and stay and travel in the DR.
And I only ended up going and staying here and not trying to do the whole DR thing because it was like a quick, honestly, it was like a quick little thing. My now husband was
Uh-huh.
my boyfriend back then. He actually just came with me. It was just like I can go anywhere to get lipo. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't like that. I was going to do the hourglass or get a tummy tuck or get my boobs done. And I did like his lipo work.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of was like, I'll just stay here, even though it costs more. Cause like I said, it's not about the price. It was about the results. I did
Uh-huh.
like his results, even though it costed more than if I would have went to DR.
Yes. Yeah, it's tough out here and prices just keep going up and up and up. And
Girl.
especially when these plastic surgeons pop off on social media, they just want to
Mhm.
skyrocket prices. I'm like, it's already expensive enough.
Girl,
Like
you wanna hear a quote I had got from my last surgery. My last surgery was 20 what year is it? 2025? My
2025.
last surgery was 2022.
Okay.
I had my son in 2021. It was 21, I'm sorry. I had
Uh-huh.
my son April 2021. My last surgery was December 2021.
Uh-huh.
I was getting quotes. You wanna know a quote that I got? In
What was the
DR.
surgery? What was the surgery for
The
though?
surgery was for a breast lift, and
Okay.
this is actually, we skipped some chapters at this point. This is my second breast lift because, like I said, I
Yes,
had a
because
baby, my first baby.
I
So this
wanted
will be my second breast
uh,
lift with implants, and I was getting lipo again.
uh-huh.
That was it. Oh yeah, breast lift with implants, revision type of thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
lipo. Girl, I reached out to a few different doctors that I really liked. The cheapest that I got was 6.
6,000.
Yeah, and the most, girl, I almost threw my phone across the
20.
room. 10 grand for
Yeah.
breast and lipo in the DR. I said, oh, you guys have definitely blown up since girl, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, those DR, those Columbia prices, honey, they know that they're snatching girls out there, so they're up in those prices. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
that was, I
10,000
couldn't
US
believe it.
dollars, and the surgeons in the US are charging 18, 20. Easy money.
Yeah, because that surgery here would have definitely been a smooth 20 grand for sure.
Yes, definitely. Especially breast lift with
Yeah.
implants. That's minimum 15,000,
Minimum 15. Yeah.
depend where you go. But let's rewind a little bit. So you had your second lipo, all went well.
Mhm.
And then you decided, is that when you decided to get your first breast lift with implants?
So some time had passed now. So that was 2016 when I got the second lipo with Dr. Hourglass.
Mm-hmm.
Life went on. I went on. Then my next surgery wasn't until 2019.
Okay.
So it's about 4 or 5 years later. So I was out here living my best life, living la vida loca with my body at that point.
Not
But
the Vida Loca.
yeah, breast actually was something I've always wanted to do. Sidebar, I actually was supposed to get my boobs done. I totally forgot about that. I was supposed to get my boobs done with my first surgery, the BBL,
And
but
what
my
happened?
iron was too low. My iron was too low. So I'm anemic. So my
Okay, but
iron
if your
wasn't
iron was low, they shouldn't have done the surgery at all.
no, like if it was too low to get that many surgeries, because I would have got a BBL plus breast lift and implants. That's too many surgeries.
No, I
So the
feel you, but
standard back then was 12. You had to have a
uh-huh.
minimum 12 for this one doctor.
12.0,
If I
uh-huh.
was getting multiple surgeries, it needed to be a 14. Mine was
Oh,
a
that was
13.
okay.
So
Those
so
were
she
their
was like,
rules and
you can either get your
regulations.
breasts done or you could get the BBL, but I'm not doing both on you because your iron's too low. As a safe
Mm.
doctor should. So I chose the BBL. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna rock with these boobs and keep it pushing.
Okay. So then, yeah. So then you waited till your third surgery.
Mhm.
And where did you go for your breast lift and implants?
DR. This is my
You
next
went,
DR surgery
you
again.
went back to the DR. So you went
Yes.
DR, Houston, and now we're back in the DR.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. And did you go to the same surgeon or you went to a different one?
No. This surgeon was actually known for doing good boobs. Like boobs was like her thing.
Uh-huh.
And the surgery I actually booked, or the quote I actually got, was for a breast lift
Mm-hmm.
or a reduction, whatever. And I wanted implants.
Uh-huh.
If I could find old pictures and show you somehow, girl, I've always been heavy breasted. Like, I mean, but they always look good. And people were like, why are you gonna chop them off? They were just so heavy. If you know anything about boobs, girl, bye. I was like, I'm tired. I have to lift them up to do. I was
Start
tired.
sweating. You have the sweat pulling under your
Girl,
breast.
it was a lot. But they did look good. That's one thing I will say. Like, surgery or not, your girl was always looking good. Okay. So, but I wanted implants because I wanted the fake look. Like, I wanted the perky Barbie, because some people want to look natural, and that's fine.
And that's the same thing I said. I said, when I went into my consult, I said, I want the Pamela Anderson boobs. Like, Baywatch, give them to me.
What you want, that's great. But I don't want that. So I got the quote was for the breast lift with the implants. And then this doctor actually also did my hip fat transfer.
Okay.
Because one thing I did notice from my BBL, the first surgery I ever had, she really focused on my butt. And
so you didn't
I did have a little bit more. I had a little bit more curvature in my hips, but not like, you know what I mean?
You wanted that hourglass S shape.
Yeah.
Curves.
So, and even Dr. Cortez in Houston had mentioned it when he did my consult. And he was like, oh, like, do you want to do a fat trans? And I was like, no, because you're already getting $5,000 from me. So I just held off on that. So when I went in 2019, I got the breast lift with implants and the fat transfer to my hips only. She did not touch my butt.
Okay. And how much did she charge you for that?
It was maybe 5 or 6. I feel like it was like 5 or 6. It was like 55 and some change.
Okay, that's pretty cheap. But again, that's the DR.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you just had smooth recoveries, especially because you were or are anemic, that each recovery, thankfully, you've had no issues and you're safe. And it sounds like you were pretty on it about what you wanted and your recovery. So that is a plus, because especially when you're getting so many surgeries like that, you got to be on it. You have no choice. After your breast lift and all that, you also say you got chin lipo, buccal fat removal. When did those kick in?
That was 2021. So that was the last round that I did. Because at that point, COVID happened. I gained weight. Life happened.
Yes.
Well, I didn't get married back then, but I just got married last year. But I moved here to Atlanta from Charlotte. I moved in with my husband. I had a baby. It's like I didn't even like recognize myself because I had like gained so much weight during COVID. And I immediately dropped my son and I got back in the gym. I lost 35 pounds or so.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, he was born in April. So from April to my surgery, I had lost about 35 pounds or so of that baby weight and COVID weight. It really came from COVID and quarantine and stuff. So that's when I went to DR, and that was my last surgery, where I got the buccal fat removal, chin lipo, and a revision on my breast lift and implants and the lipo.
Okay. And are you happy with your second breast lift with implants? Are you happy with your revision?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have no idea. I did make a mistake that first time around, where, like I said, I wanted that big fake look. Because I am natural breasted, big boob breasted.
Yeah.
And like I said, it runs in my family genetically. Honestly, I didn't think of the fact that boobs grow.
When
they
you
grow.
gained weight, they
bigger. And they grow. Yeah, I gained weight and they grew, and then I had implants on top of
it. So you were probably looking real busty.
Yeah, my boobs were probably sitting how I wanted to sit after that first surgery for like 4 months. I kid you not. And by the end of 2019, my implants were here, but my boobs just kept growing. My boobs had got so big. And then when I got pregnant, girl, it was, I hated it. I hated it. My boobs were huge. They were bigger than what they were before I had the surgery because I had the implants now. Yeah, and they looked good in clothes. And if I wore a bra, you could not tell. I just had big, huge boobs.
You took the bra off and...
it was not cute. My husband was like, you don't need to go back. And I was like, yes, I do. But now, I love them. I love them. They're perfect for my size.
I'm so happy. And going back to the chin lipo and the buccal fat removal, that is the hype. The past couple years, 1-2 years, is chin lipos on the scene. Buccal fat removal is on the scene. Girls are even just going to the surgeon's office just to get buccal fat. They don't even have to go fully asleep. Like it was such a trend last year.
It's all awake. Awake.
Oh my gosh. Now, if you had to crown one procedure as the biggest waste of money or one you wouldn't recommend to the girls, do you have one?
Yes. Arm lipo. Honestly. What? Yeah, girl. I've had arm lipo, like, I had to do the first one. It might be 2-3 times. I don't even know anymore. I don't know.
You had 2 or 3 rounds of arm lipo and your arm still ain't snatched?
No. That's why it's a waste of money.
What the hell are they doing in there?
Tell you, it's not even that they aren't snatched. It's the fact, because you see my arms look fine. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not the fact that they're not snatched. It's like maybe like DRs, like I guess Cortez did do it, but DR is so aggressive with lipo. Like you get a lot, like people get, and maybe this comes with post-op care. This might be my fault also. But I feel like you, and I see it a lot in other girls. You get like more like fibroids or like that hard skin here.
Fibrosis. Yeah.
And even though, and a thing with arm lipo is they go in and they're more focused on people that have bat wings.
The hanging. Yes.
I don't have bat wings. Like I have a little bit, but I don't have bat. My issue is
Was the
behind the
back,
arm.
the posterior arm.
Exactly. And the issue with arm lipo is they come in and they do this.
Yes.
And then they completely, this area is untouched, girl. And then also your forearms are untouched.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? So honestly, I'm actually looking.
What you trying to get done, girl?
For maybe getting a arm lift with a mini scar. That's what I'm actually thinking about doing next year. So I have some doctors in the works and some things I'm looking at. Because like I said, this issue, like my arms, and I work out. So I've already lost 14 pounds since I just had my last baby. I have a 4-month-old.
Get it,
so
girl.
I just already lost 14 pounds, but this is never the problem. It's literally back
the
here.
back of the arm is what, if
So
you guys
I'm
can't
a good
see, that's what she's
candidate
talking
for
about.
a mini arm lift because I don't have the bat wings. You would need a full arm lift with the scar going all the way here.
All the way to
with
the
the mini one, they just cut here and they pull all that skin back. Boom.
Ooh.
Snatch, girl, and it's hidden in your armpit.
Yes, instead of that long line.
Yeah,
which
my mom has one and she hates it. And she's actually looking for a doctor too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you lose tremendous amounts of weight and you just have that excess skin hanging from your arm, that's kind of the only way to do it. You just have to do good scar treatment and hope that it fades out.
Yeah, and it will fade, but you will always still have a scar.
Yeah, that's just kind of not a fun perk of the surgery. But with this mini arm lift, that sounds really interesting that they can just cut.
Because like I said, I work out. I feel like my arms look good. But, when you're into looking at yourself in the mirror and things, like my arms have always been like an issue because I've tried to fix it with arm lipo and working out. But I mean, this area here is just untouched. Like you can even see like my little fat roll above my elbow and it just won't go away.
Girl, we have to have excess skin there.
Doctors, send them my way.
You need to let me know when you get a quote on that, how much it is.
Girl, yeah. And that's the thing. I'm still looking before I even reach out. So I'm in it. And like I said, I'm not completely sold, but I am leaning towards that way.
Now, a lot of girls are scared to get even one surgery, let alone multiple surgeries, because the thought of like, am I going to wake up? That's like, I have children. Am I going to wake up?
The one I had in 2021, I had my first child that year. All the other surgeries, I was single, kid free. But I was young, and I think back then I was just like, I was much younger. I wasn't really thinking about things like that. Of course, it crosses your mind because the surgery I got in 2019, there was a lot going on in the surgery world back then. I kid you not. I mean, it was a lot. Like people were dying in the DR. I kid you not that you would get on a blog maybe like every month and you would see someone had died in the DR from certain surgeons or different people. 2019 was a scary year. I cannot lie to you. And
I was going to say, I think because, the DR got popular over the years and then, newer surgeons coming on the scene, like, I can go operate out here, be busy, make money and pocket more money. Because all these Americans are coming down to the DR. So I think maybe having a lot of newer surgeons.
It was a lot. And some of the deaths are from old surgeons. Ooh. I kid you not. I have a rule. This is my rule.
Okay.
I do my research. You know what I mean? I do my research. But if I find out my doctor that say I booked someone, I paid my quote, whatever, paid my deposit, whatever. If they have any type of death within the time of me paying my quote to go into surgery, I would not go to them. Thankfully, that's never happened. That's never happened to me. Another thing is I've had friends be looking into doctors and they're like, oh, I want to go to this doctor. Next thing you know, that doctor had a death. And you know what happens? They still want to go to that doctor. And I'm like, if people think that it can never be them, I think it's what it is.
And it can be any of us.
It can be anyone. So that's what I was about to say. So my surgery in 2019 was the first breast lift when the fat transferred to the hips. The day after my surgery, I went to the clinic for my post-op. Like she looks at you, looks at all your stuff. It was 2 days after. There was actually a death at the clinic with another doctor. So mind you, this is DR. So all the what do you call it, paparazzi or whatever was at the clinic. Mind you, I just had surgery. So I'm like covered in my faja, I can barely walk, and you gotta like push through the paparazzi. And they're speaking Spanish. People are like flashing cameras. It was a big deal. No, on the same floor as my surgeon had a death that day. And it was insane. It was sad. Apparently, if I can remember, it was a big influencer in DR. Her mother passed away on the table. So that's why it was a big thing because she was local. So yeah, it was scary. And you do think of these things. And honestly, people used to ask me, oh, why don't you wait until you have kids? Or why don't you do this? My thing has always been like,
live life now. Why
I
wait
mean,
10
honestly,
years?
like that's my thing. It's something where it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You could walk across the street and get hit by a car, or you could, something else. So honestly, all you do is pray about it, be positive about it, do your research, and go from there.
Now, comparing your surgeries abroad versus in the US, what was the most shocking experience or difference? You could go anywhere from like safety to price to care to results. Like, what would you say is the biggest difference that you've noticed getting surgery in the US versus the DR?
Because I've only got the one surgery in the US. I mean, honestly, it was just the price. I still love my results, but the only difference was that price.
The major thing is
Because
the
I've only had
price.
one here in the US. So honestly, like I said, I am looking into arm maybe next year. A lot of doctors don't do that many arm lift scar, and the ones that do are in the US.
Yes.
So I might be getting a surgery in the US. So we'll see. I don't know whatever price they're talking.
Yeah. What would you say for girls that say, like, okay, I do want to go to this surgeon. He is board certified. He's in the DR. They did their research. Are there any tips that you would maybe give to the girlies before going down there and traveling?
Yes. If they've done their research or whatever, I would definitely say start with social media. And I don't mean that surgeon's page.
No. Yep.
Because we're women, we know how to research. I need you to put that same effort that you do to going through your man's phone into looking at a surgeon.
Period.
So with that being said, I need you to Google his name and death, Google his name and complication, Google his name and the word infection, and then do the same thing on Instagram. From there, go to his page, go to his tag photos, look at people that have tagged him. If a person, say like I went to your surgeon and you see me in his tag photos, DM that person that tagged him so you can get an actual real person's like point of view.
Love those tips. That is like deep diving research, investigation. Those are awesome tips. There are sites like Real Self or even Yelp. Reddit is a great tool. Have you ever looked at Reddit?
Yes. Reddit is it's just it's an open blog for everything. Reddit is Google. Reddit is my Google.
So looking at that and even watching, I don't say use TikTok and YouTube as your main search engines, but also going in, people tell story times about their experiences, whether they're good or bad.
All of that. Literally search their name, search their clinic that they're at on everything that, if it has a search bar, put their name in it. So TikTok, YouTube, Yahoo, Facebook. Go on Facebook and search his name because people make a public post, you will see it. So literally, you really got to get deep down and dirty when it comes to research because some of these doctors are shady and they will try to pay to scrub the internet. And you can't hide everything.
100%.
And you can't get rid of someone's personal stuff. So make sure you deep dive into that.
Yes. Deep dive into all the other girls because that's the best way you're going to get info. And like she said, do not go to the surgeon's page to deep dive because guess what? Surgeons are going to put their best work on Instagram.
Only the good stuff.
And comments can be deleted and comments can be. So like she said, use all the search engines and hear it from other women's or male's point of view and take all that info that you gather, set it in front of you and say, okay, weigh out the pros, weigh out the cons, and make the most educated decision for yourself.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's such great advice. And do you recommend, because I have interviewed some girls that have traveled alone to get surgery because no one could come with them last minute. Do you advise that? And I already know your answer, but I want you to repeat it for the girls.
Well, I went alone for all of my surgeries except for one.
Wait, hold on. Pause. I thought you said you went with your husband or your boyfriend at the time.
That was the one that I went with. Like I said, I went alone except for one.
So you went back to the DR by yourself?
Multiple times.
Girl.
And the last time was 2021, yes.
And you weren't scared or like who would help you or?
No. No. Like I said, personally, okay, so like I said, so when it comes to, so DR also has like vacation spots like Punta Cana,
Yes.
Punta Brava, and I vacation a lot. And this, I think this goes also just into what you're comfortable with. I'm an Aquarius. We are very, it's literally a known fact that Aquariuses are the most independent zodiac sign. So I think it's
Girl.
just me, like, and I'm the only child used to being alone. If you say you
And
can't
me
come with me, I will put on my clothes and go. I don't need people to do that. That's just my personality. So when I was looking into surgeries and things, and if it was out of, like, if I had someone to go with me, great. I've never gotten surgery with a friend. I wish I would. I mean, of course, but I'm not going to put my body or life on hold because someone can't come with me. But that's in my personality and that's just how I am because I'm used to being a lone wolf. I don't, you know what I mean? My circle is very small. I'm the only child. I'm military. My family's military. I've lived in multiple states. I've lived in different countries. I'm used to going places alone. So that's not, for me, it was nothing. But for someone else that has 20 siblings and blah, 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 it could be totally different.
Yeah. Now, I'm glad, going alone, being a young girl and traveling alone and, you're an American and.
No, I didn't stay alone. I stayed in recovery homes.
Okay. Thank the Lord Jesus.
I did not stay alone. My mother, I put her on to surgery in the DR. My mother has gone and stayed in recovery homes, and she's actually stayed alone. She's actually done both. I, on the other hand, have only stayed in recovery homes. So that's my caveat. If you're going to travel alone, you do the recovery home. So for the girls listening that don't know,
thank you.
Recovery home, especially in DR, they have everything. It's an all-inclusive deal. Most of them. Make sure you find one that's all-inclusive. So what that means is they have a driver. They have a cook. They have laundry. You don't leave your recovery home for anything except to go to the clinic, get your surgery, and then they take you back to the home. So the driver came, you're contacting them through WhatsApp or through whatever number they give you.
Yep.
You're always in contact. They're like, Amanda, when do you arrive? One time my flight got delayed. They knew before I did. They're kidding. They're contacting me on my layover like, hey, we saw your flight got delayed. It says you'll be here at this time. So my driver will be there. They give you the license plate. They give you his name. You get out of the airport. They're holding a sign up with my name. He takes my bags. And a lot of the times, you're not alone. I'm meeting one time, I think it was the one in 2019. I literally got off the plane and he had a sign up with me and 3 other girls' names. So a girl flew in from New York. I flew in. So we're all alone. But I just made new friends.
This makes me feel so much better because I'm sitting here like this girl saying she's traveling alone.
No,
traveled alone,
now there are people that do the whole thing alone. They're doing Ubers. They're doing.
You shouldn't even be doing surgery alone in the U.S. You need someone there at least the first 48 hours, whether it's a nurse, a mom, a friend, a significant other.
These recovery homes have a 24-hour nurse on call, and not nurses, because these recovery homes have multiple rooms, so anywhere from 5 to 6 bedrooms. And there's multiple nurses. There's a house manager. Like you're never alone. You're never alone. Never.
Good. I'm so glad. Yeah. And the same way that you search for a surgeon, you guys need to be putting the same effort into that recovery home because a lot of complications, almost sometimes more complications, happen after surgery in the postoperative
unfortunately,
phase.
It's terrible because, like I said, 2019 was a scary year. There was a lot going on in the DR. I don't know what was happening back then because there hasn't been I have not heard of as much deaths as it did in 2019. There was a big, she was a surgery advocate. Actually, she made it through surgery. She got to the recovery home and ended up having complications. They rushed her back. She ended up passing away.
Yeah.
And it was sad, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, some of these people are doing unlicensed recovery homes.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have actual nurses.
Yep.
It could be shady business. It could be shady business. So the same thing with the doctors. You really got to deep dive.
And not even the DR ladies out here in the US, recovery homes, a lot of people are seeing this as the biggest cash grab.
Girl,
and you just get an Airbnb or you get a hotel or whatever it is and you promote it. We'll take care of you.
And then they get a CNA to come in and do vitals. And that's not what you should be doing.
Safe. And a lot of girls, they assume that if they make it past surgery, they're safe. And that is not the case because so many complications happen after surgery, whether that is a blood clot, whether that's infection, whether that's respiratory depression, whether that's falls. You can fall because you're on narcotics, post anesthesia, and you're in pain, and you fall and you get a TBI because you hit your head, or whatever the case may be. So just because you made it past surgery and out of that OR room does not mean you are safe. The first 48 to 72 hours
you are
so important.
So correct. And one thing I do love about DR, in case you don't know, versus, I'm going to just say Miami, because I'm an esthetician. I have a business. So a lot of my clients have gone to get surgery. So they confide in me. They show me their results. They see me before they get the surgery. They come to me after they get the surgery, whatever. I have never gotten surgery personally in Miami. My mother has. And I have friends and clients that have had surgery in Miami. But a lot of people like to compare Miami and DR. And I hate that because and they like to put Miami over DR is what I'm trying to say. And I hate that.
Interesting.
And one of the things that people don't know is that in DR, these doctors are doctors. They are board certified. They go to just as much schools they do here. But a little tidbit a lot of people don't know is that in DR, they take very good pride in making sure you're okay within that first 24 hours. You stay in the clinic. You stay overnight. So if my surgery is at 9 in the morning today, I don't get discharged until 9 in the morning the next day.
Yes.
In Miami, your surgery's at 9 in the morning in Miami, you're going home at 1 p.m.
Yep. You're rolling out of that pack, you half asleep,
and they're
nauseous.
rolling you out. My mother she just got surgery in March, and I went with her to help her. And literally her surgery was at 10 a.m. and they were calling me to come get her at 3 o'clock. And she couldn't walk. She was actually going to go by herself. And I bring it up all the time. I'm like, what were you going to do? And it's so insane to me that the U.S. of all places, they're like, no, girl, come on, get her. Literally, they're like, yeah, meet us around back and come get her.
Yeah, you're in the wheelchair slumped over.
Literally, she was slumped over. Like, and I'm like, but in DR, you stay full 24 hours. Not only that, I actually ended up staying a little bit longer because, like I said, I'm anemic. So they ended up having to give me an iron transfusion because my blood had dropped just a little bit while I was still after surgery. But I got my iron transfusion. They kept me a little bit longer, did some more tests, and then I went back to my recovery house. But imagine if they had let me go to my recovery house right after my surgery and my iron had dropped low.
Yeah,
I would have probably
that's a
fainted,
complication
passed out.
right there. Yep.
Exactly. And these are things that people it's insane to me, but that's something I do love about DR. They do keep you for overnight. And you have an overnight nurse. That's another tidbit in case you didn't know. An overnight nurse. She not just is like in the hallway opening your door. You have a nurse sleeping in the room with you.
Good.
In the room with you. Yeah, in the room with
I
you.
love this.
And they're checking your vitals all throughout the night.
So
and they're
good.
messing with you and you're like, leave me alone. And she's like, no. Because they're speaking Spanish. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, the best care came from DR.
That's amazing. And I appreciate when I hear stories like that because before I was even an operating room nurse, I started off in concierge care. So taking care of patients post-op. We had a driver. We were in Beverly Hills in a nice hotel, would pick up the patients, bring them back, set them up. And our boss, she said, we're going to run it like a hospital. They're getting vitals. I don't care which surgery it is. You're getting vitals every 4 hours. You're ambulating every 2 hours. We're doing it like a hospital. And, in Beverly Hills, we're dealing with a lot of celebrities, a lot of people with money. And they were like, I'm paying you to take care of me. So I'll let you know when I need vitals. And we were like, girl, what? Like, we said, no, you signed up with us to take care of you.
And these nurses go above and beyond. Like they put you in your faja right away.
Yes.
And if you're bleeding through your faja, they're like, get up, you gotta stand up.
Yes.
And they're changing your sheets and you just want to lay down and they're not playing with you.
Good.
And they're helping you go to the bathroom. Like you're not alone. You're never alone. I love
stories like this
if you do it the right way.
Yeah, because there's surgery homes that will leave you laying there and not wake you up and just wake you up for your Percocet and to give you a little shitty smoothie. And go back to bed. I hate, so I'm so glad that you had such a good experience.
And like I said, I am blessed because I haven't had any friends personally have any issues or clients that I can think. I've had clients and friends not like the results,
of course,
but nothing like no one has gotten so seriously hurt or injured or anything. So I am blessed. And like I said, all you can really do is pray about it and be positive and do your research.
Yes, 100%. Now, you had this total transformation and you started a business. And I want to tell the girls all about your business and kind of when it took off for you and how it plays into your social media journey?
So like I said, skincare was always a hobby. So I have always dealt with horrible cystic acne. All throughout my chin, my neck. I was on birth control in my early 20s, so that contributed to it.
Yeah.
So in college, it got so out of hand, like it was not cute. Like you cannot be a bad chick with yucky face. So I started like experimenting, and that's what made me look into aesthetic school. So literally my senior year, I was like, why am I even getting this degree? Like I'm not about to do this. But I finished and I got my degree in PR and communications.
Well, look, you still need it for your business, girl. So it all comes together.
But back then I didn't know that. So I enrolled into aesthetic school that next following January, I believe. And I did full-time aesthetics because I wanted to cure my skin. It got so bad that I was going to dermatologists.
Yeah.
I was getting tretinoin. I was looking into Accutane. And I was just like, oh my God. And you want to know what cured my skin? To see what you see now?
What?
It was me. It was me. It was me with all the stuff I learned in aesthetic school. So I actually started doing a home regimen. I started doing peels. And literally, and I was in my program was like 8 months.
Okay.
By the time I graduated, my skin was completely clear. And it was because of me. So back then, like even owning a business and esthetician and stuff was new. I remember I posted my little certificate and I took the state board and all that. And I got so many DMs from the girls. Girl, I will never forget this. They were like, what's an esthetician? A lot of people thought that aesthetics was the same as cosmetology. That's what a lot of people think. So they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." Like the girl, like my influence runs deep, girl.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not. From just the smallest things, and they were like, "I didn't know." Literally, I could not believe how many DMs I got. So, I was doing lashes. Lashes was the first thing I ever did, and my lashes were a big thing at the time because I focused on like the thick, full, fluffy lashes. And mind you, if you can't tell, I like everything big. Okay. So back then, this is 2015, 16, 17. Big, thick, fluffy lashes were not in. That was not a thing. It was
lashes
natural.
weren't on the map yet. Yeah.
No, not how you. If you search lashes extensions right now, all you'll see is fluffy, thick, ridiculous lashes. Back then, girl, bye. Like it was just now. They all look like strip lashes. So my business for lashes took off because I was doing lashes like no one else at the time in the city. So then, of course, I got my aesthetics license, and then I added on facials and peels and waxing and body services, and it just all came full circle because I was already doing those things for myself. And then I was just a walking billboard for my business. So anywhere I went somewhere, people were like, "Oh my God, you look so good. Your skin, your body. Here's my card.
Here's my card."
It just came full circle. And so now my business, I do have a corporate job. So I do have a 9 to 5. I am new to Atlanta. I've been here since 2020. Honestly, it's kind of been on the back burner since I moved here because I became a mom. I got married. I just had my second child.
Life is lifing.
Life is lifing. I literally just take clients randomly. I really don't put a lot into my business. And I do want to sometimes, but honestly,
it's hard to juggle it all.
Not my main thing like it was back then. So I do still have my business. I do my body peel. I do have my own product for body peels.
Awesome.
This is for helping to lighten stretch marks, surgery scars. You can use it on the face, and you can also use it on dark areas of the body like inner thighs and
hyperpigmentation. Yeah. And I honestly feel like your clients would trust you more because you've been through it all. From surgery to skincare to peels to lashes. Like, you're fully rounded, so that makes you a trustworthy.
It's so funny because I'm like, when I talk about myself or I'm like talking to you, it sounds like I've been here for a million years. Girl, it's like I've lived 1,000 lives. I'm only 31 and I've lived 1,000 lives, if you cannot tell. So I know I've done a college girl thing. I've done the business thing. I've done the 9 to 5. Like I'm a mom.
I love that because you're so well-rounded. Yeah, I mean, it just makes you well-rounded as a person and, putting your hands kind of everywhere and getting education from everywhere. It's like, that's not a bad thing at all. So, because imagine you were only doing 1 or 2 things, that's all you would know. You wouldn't know anything else. So
one of my biggest pet peeves, girl, and the girls gonna hate this, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when a girl gets surgery for the first time. And I know you're listening.
Oh, and
people.
they think they know
they get surgery one time. And now all of a sudden, what are they? the surgery guru, the surgery Buddha. Like, girl, they're over. And what I mean is, not only are they trying to tell the girls, this is what you need to do, this is what you shouldn't do, they're trying to charge the girls for this advice. They're trying to be this concierge of the industry, and they haven't even been in this game long enough, had any type of extent. Like, I literally have built relationships with surgeons. You know what I mean? Like, it's to the point where surgeons in clinics have reached out to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, these girls get their own personal lipo or breast job. And the next thing you know, they're like, hey guys, come to Sarah's concierge service and they charge for consultation.
See,
or they're
I
selling stuff. Girl, bye.
don't roll with that. I think if you get surgery, share your surgery journey, share how your experience was. Let the girls know what's up, maybe what you would do differently next time. But if you've only had one surgery your whole life and you're not even in the healthcare field,
or the shade of it all is if they have a surgery and then they don't look good, but then you're trying to tell other people, keep your advice, girl, you're good.
Yeah, I don't think charging other women for advice or being a concierge after you just had one surgery, that's pretty mind-blowing, because it's deeper than just what you need off Amazon.
Especially if you don't look like too much, because then it's like, are you trying to sabotage me? Like, girl, it's all I see. It's all I see because of what I do. It's all that pops up on my For You page is the girlies, in the surgery community trying to, whatever. Or I know you've seen this because you've been in Beverly Hills and stuff.
Oof.
I've seen the girls get surgery and they will start offering post-op services. That's when I see more often.
Yes.
They're like, I've watched them massage me.
Yes.
Girl, you are not a massage therapist. They're full blown. They're not a nurse and you're not a massage therapist. That actually happens more often than not. They don't know crap dilly squat about massage or lymphatic drainage. And
100%.
They start offering a body contouring post-op care because they had surgery. One surgery. They didn't get trained. They don't have a license. But they offer it because of their own personal experience. I see that a lot more.
100%. I see it too. And my advice on that is what we said earlier. Even your lymphatic massage therapist, are they certified in lymphatic massage? Because there are actual certification courses. So y'all need to be checking. You got a board certified doctor. You got a certified lymphatic therapist.
States, I know for sure, are cracking down on that. I think Florida,
100%.
Florida specifically, they really started cracking down because they made it to the point recently, like the last couple of years, some really big post-op care places in Florida. Even I like them. Like, I was like, oh, her work is good.
Because their asses have been getting dragged online, giving Florida, Miami a bad rep. And Florida's like, hold up.
Because they were doing, these massage therapists were doing more nursing practices where they would put a syringe into the body to remove fluid, or they would remove blood, and that is stuff they do in DR. But the rules in DR and Colombia and Mexico are completely different here. You need to be a nurse minimum to do anything with syringes or blood. But I've seen recently Florida really started cracking down on a lot of those post-op places because these massage therapists were removing fluid and blood during their massages. And at that point, it's a medical procedure.
Florida ain't playing. They're cracking down on those janky recovery homes and the janky lymphatic massage therapists.
Yeah.
Which they should, because, like I said, people see it as a cash grab.
That can cause your complication. Your doctor may have done amazing, but then you go to Sarah's basement for that post-op massage and she just messed up his stuff. But they're not going to blame her. They're going to blame the doctor. And in reality, it's because you went to an unlicensed person.
Yes. Oh my God, what you just said, your results might be good from the doctor, but if you don't do your proper aftercare and you don't do your proper research on who's taking care of you, guess what? Those results can turn nasty real quick.
Like these girls, girl, you have no idea.
Or what kills me is they spend all the money on the surgeon, they go to the celebrity doctor, and they don't have extra funds for the right post-op supplies, enough lymphatic massages, enough hyperbaric chambers. And girls,
even the faja. They don't
even
even
the right
faja.
How are you going to spend $20,000 on lipo BBL and then go buy a $60 faja?
Girl.
The math ain't mathin'.
Like, why are you straight off the table in a corset waist trainer?
Ooh.
What are you doing? I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. I've seen these massage therapists do wood therapy. You're not supposed to do wood therapy.
No, I talked about this.
First, I think it's 3 to 6 months after surgery. They're doing wood therapy and ultrasound cavitation on these girls right off the table. Like, please do your research, you guys.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to do that Okay, so now do
yeah,
your
no,
research.
I've preached to the girls. I think I even made a reel on this, but yeah, no wood therapy, no mechanical,
No
anything,
devices. No
no
devices. Like, what
devices.
are you doing? You're at people don't understand when you get off the table, especially with liposuction, your skin is like Play-Doh.
Yep.
So it literally, if you put like your fingerprint on your skin, it's like that. You'll see it
Yeah.
right there. Right. And
Foggy,
anything they
glanceable,
do
the
is going to
tissue
mess with your
soft.
results. And that's
Yes.
why you have to do your research on your
Yes.
post-op care also.
And if you don't have enough funds for the aftercare, wait a little bit longer, save up that money, and do it right the first time, because guess
Because the
what?
best people are going to charge you, especially here in the States. But it's
Yes.
worth it. It's worth it.
You're going to end up spending more money round 2 because you didn't want to do it right and wait a little bit longer the first time.
Yep.
So I know everyone's in a hurry to look snatched and get it done and get on that table, but please wait a little bit longer if you don't have it all prepared and all the funds in place yet. Because it'll add up real quick the second time around.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. I love everything you said. Girl, you know your shit, and I'm so happy.
I know you're probably like, is this girl for real? I'm about to see. Like, yes.
Seriously, honestly. Now, we've, told all the girls the ins and outs and provided so much education. And do you kind of feel like social media pushes not only you, but maybe other girls to always kind of look snatched? And, like even when you're tired or bloated, like just having that online presence, it's hard, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm a nobody. Like, let's be real. Like, I've been on social media for years, but I'm a nobody. What I mean by that is that I don't take social, like this actually, the fact that you found me is because I dropped my baby. I'm done having kids. I have 2. I'm done. But I decided to honestly start taking my social media presence seriously. And what I mean by that is that I've always posted, but I posted and I go about my life. I have a life. I touch grass. Okay, people. Okay, I touch grass. So with that being said, I actually have a life outside of social media. So I never took it seriously. And I will like post something or 2 like for a couple weeks or so. And then I literally will go ghost.
Go missing.
And if you know anything, especially now about social media, they changed the algorithm.
Yeah.
They changed so many rules versus how it used to be. And not posting is the worst thing you can do because the moment you stop posting, like Instagram specifically, will not show your
Push your
page to
content.
anyone. You have to literally now build back up your audience. So even though I have like 200K followers, there were times where my videos would literally get almost 500,000 views because I was always on social media back when I was like single and kid free right before COVID. COVID came, I completely stopped posting, and that was the worst thing I can do. Then it got to like literally, I would post a picture, I would probably get maybe like 100 likes. I would do a video, maybe get 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And so I had my kid. I decided to start taking social media seriously because what I mean by that is that I've always gave advice. I've always posted, but now TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, YouTube, they're paying you to do these things.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I've always been monetized. I've always had a business profile, but I was like, you know what? I'm about to get back into this gym. I'm about to lose this baby weight. I'm getting back on my skincare and aesthetic procedures.
Yeah.
Why not post the content and stay on it? Because of all the girlies have always been in my DMs, but I just never posted about it. So honestly, I was like, you know what? I'm about to just start taking this seriously. I just told my friend this. I started July. I told myself I was going to post every single day until the rest of the year. And I have done it. So
Shut
far.
up. Post like
At
an
least
actual
once a day.
post?
An actual post. So a real, I started, no, I lied, August. I started August 1st.
Okay.
It was like mid-August. But I said, I'm going to start posting and I'm going to post every single day. And it's working. It's working. My audience is starting to get more engaged. I could tell that my stuff is getting more views than what it used to when I was like pregnant a few months ago. But that's the thing about social media. It's literally a full-time job. I spent 3 hours editing videos last night.
Yeah. No,
editing
it's crazy.
Reels. Like, it's a full-time job. And I have an actual job. So
yeah. Yeah, I feel you as a full-time nurse still, and then like doing a podcast, booking the interviews, doing the interviews, editing the interviews, plus trying to make extra content.
And I'm
girl.
a nobody. So I can only imagine the real people. And what I mean these real influencers, there's a mom influencer I follow. I love her to death. She's a mom and a wife. She's married to like a basketball player, I think. She literally has been on the social media since like 2016, posting. And her content is more like mommy, but it's relatable. And I love it to death. She gets flown out by these brands, these makeup brands. And that's where I'm trying to get. Until I get there, I'm a nobody. When a brand flies me out, girl, I've made it. So you will know.
I'm like, Amanda, take me with you, sis.
I know. that's what I'm working towards, because I want to be able to, quit my full-time job and
Of
be,
course.
a real like full-blown
Content creator,
content
influencer.
creator, but
Mhm.
and actually work with actual surgeons or clinics or aesthetic practices and be like a spokesperson or whatever. There's one girl I
Yes.
follow. She actually was flown out to do a commercial to California for this weight loss company.
Wow.
Yeah, because she used them for weight loss. So she's in a whole commercial. Like, girl, it's coming, but you gotta stay on it. And so I
Yes.
challenge myself to post every day relatable content, and it is working. So we'll see.
Keep on being
Ask me this time next year.
Yes, we're gonna do a loop around. So did you get the arm lift and have you got flown out yet?
Yes.
No, I see it happening for you. You just need to keep on being consistent and
Yeah.
keep on manifesting. I swear the power of
There is
manifestation.
power in the tongue. Yes, you are correct.
Yes. So keep on doing it because you know your shit and you are so
Mhm.
outspoken and you are so
Mhm.
entertaining and you do have a passion for all things plastics and aesthetics. So I definitely see you out there, girl. You
Yes,
just
it's
gotta get
coming.
back
It's
in the
coming, girl.
groove.
It's coming.
Yes. Now, a couple last questions. Do you think being open about your surgeries makes people respect you more or judge you harder?
Judge me harder for sure. Because, and this is weird because but then again, I'm a girl's girl, so I don't know. But
Uh-huh.
I never, like, so if you tell someone you've had surgery or
Uh-huh.
you've had your body done, you'll see it. This is a good example. So say I get surgery. Okay, cool. And then 3 months later, you see me in the gym. You go and I post a reel of me working out in the gym. That's it. I didn't say anything. I'm just in the gym. I'm in the gym. Girl,
I know where you're going
those
with this.
comments will shred you to pieces. People are, I didn't know you could work out at BBL. Why are you in the gym? Didn't you get your body done? Wait, so I'm not supposed, like, what are we talking about?
That
People
is,
shame people
oof.
for going to the gym. And it's like they make you seem like you got to pick.
Yep.
If I got the money,
Yes.
boo boo, I could do both.
Yes.
So
Yes. Oh my
they
gosh.
make it seem like, okay, well, if you wanted to, like, they're like, oh, why are you in the gym and getting surgery? Because I can. Because I can.
Period.
Because I can afford the gym membership and I can afford the surgery. So let me, or they'll be like, why are you, they judge you harder. So then another example will be, because you get surgery, you're open with it.
Uh-huh.
They're like, they feel like you should look perfect in their eyes. So everyone's perception of beauty is different. My husband, he loves the way I look, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
He's loved me before, he's loved me after, he's loved me pregnant, he's loved me with the big boobs, he's loved with the
As
tiny
he
boobs.
should.
That's all that matters. And I love the way I look is all that matters.
Yes.
But everyone's perception of beauty is different. So you can share your journey and it opens you up to trolls and haters to say, oh, well, you look stupid or you look botched or I don't like your butt or your butt's too big or it's this or it's that. And because they're thinking, well, if you got surgery, you should be looking like a certain aspect of
X,
what
Y,
they
and
think
Z
someone should
look
have
like.
surgery look like.
And it's all subjective.
And it's all
sure.
subjective. And granted, there are people out there that maybe have more extreme looks. They maybe have more extreme shapes. But if they're walking around living their life, who are you to come in their comments or to their page and tell them? Like, I see some crazy stuff on the internet every 5 seconds. Nothing possesses me to get in someone's comments and tell them how I feel.
And talk crazy. Mind blowing.
It's insane. But every day I get women and weird men. Like, and I posted a reel about this. I don't know if you saw it. I posted this video. It was about my boobs or surgery or something. And some ugly guy, I didn't even look at a troll, who wouldn't, baby, you're safe. You ain't got to worry about me. He'll put in a comment, and you do all this to your body and you still don't have a man. Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him, girl?
I'll tell him. Let me run to those comments real quick.
Like, what are we saying? I don't have a man. Man had a man, still got a man. And if that man left, I can get another man. Like, what are we talking? And it's just so crazy because it's like, I would never, ever get in anyone's comments and be like, you're ugly.
Yeah, if
you're
I don't
fat,
like something,
you're this.
that dress is ugly, I would just think like, oh, she could have picked a better dress. But guess what?
I
keep moving.
And I'm like, oh, that's ugly. Or what
and
is
you
she
keep
doing?
scrolling.
Oh, and I go about my day.
Yes.
But social media has gotten people way too open. And that's why people are losing their jobs and getting fired and things. Because they get on Facebook and social media and they see it as like another world. And they get on here and they say racist stuff.
Crazy
they say things,
stuff.
Very political.
And like it
and
won't
then when
get
they get
back to
fired
them.
from their job.
Yeah.
Or you see it a lot with like the younger generation, like Gen Z. I saw that recently somebody like in college had said a racist statement on TikTok or on Snapchat. They got suspended and
Good.
expelled from college.
As they
And people,
should.
and it sparked a debate. And people were like, well, you know, he shouldn't get suspended because of what he said. Why shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why? It's his writing. He wrote it. It's no different than if he put it on a poster and hung it up in the dean's office just because he posted, you know?
And guess what? A majority of these corporations or jobs, even like the cheating scandal with the big corporate at the Coldplay concert,
Yeah.
the companies and the schools aren't firing because of what you did. They're firing
Yeah,
because
they're doing it because
of the
other people are making it.
backlash
Yeah.
of the company and how it makes the company or the school look.
And there's companies and schools that haven't done a dang thing to people that have done that. But the ones that have suffered the repercussions of their actions, you see it a lot with the younger generation or even older generation because they'll get on Facebook saying all this crazy stuff about politics and whatever. And then people find out where they work and they start calling and they're like, hey, dot, 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 dot. And a lot of times these people are in healthcare. A lot, and that's the sad part. And you're saying racist things or sad things on the internet, and you work in healthcare around these same people that you're saying stuff about. So it's like, it's about ethics. So they have to make a choice, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, social media definitely opens me up to way more hate than anything. Just because people are trying to say like, okay, like I think I look freaking amazing. To someone else, they can think I'm the ugliest person in the world. That's their prerogative.
That's their perspective and their opinion.
Exactly. So
Sadly,
they'll put
they
that
have the right to
prerogative
it.
in my comments or they'll get in my DMs and try to put it in there to let me know that they think that I'm ugly. They wanted me to know they think that.
I know. And the question is, do you delete the comments or do you reply with some heat?
No, I always delete and block.
Good. I always.
You will never. And this is all my life. All my life. Like, not to sound whatever, but literally from my earliest memory of a hater was when I was 5 years old. Like, I kid you not. Like, I have all my life, I have just attracted weird females, weird people. And like I said, I'm very confident. I've always been confident.
And maybe
I'm
that's
very
why
outspoken.
people are jealous.
They're jealous. They look at you and they're kind of like, how is she so confident? Even when you see people like Lizzo. Lizzo came onto the scene confident in who she is. She's loud. She's like, I'm this and this is who I am. And people can't stand it because they are like, well, I don't like myself. I'm quiet. So why can't she be quiet? And it's so weird. And it's like, I literally, it's so mind blowing. But like I said, it all goes down to your personality. And it all boils down to confidence. It just comes down to confidence.
100%. And, you know, if you're ever going to get surgery or share your surgery journey, being in that mental headspace, surgery is tough. Even if you don't have haters, sometimes we're our worst critics and our know.
Yeah. And like I said, no matter how many surgeries you get, it doesn't fix your mind.
No.
So I see it a lot. I've seen it with clients. I've seen it with people I know. They'll get surgery, but they're unhappy with themselves because of other things. Maybe the body was one,
and they think
but they're not
the physical
confident.
appearance.
So they'll get surgery or they'll fix something and they're still not happy or they're still not confident and they're thinking like, well, if I go fix this or get this surgery, I'm going to get a man or I'm going to be happier.
Yeah.
And then they realize they're the same person that they were mentally. They're like shocked, like, well, I thought this was going to fix me.
Yeah.
No, you have to be healed within yourself first before you can ever go to portray to the world on the outside, oh, well, I got this, I'm happy. And that's why you hear sad stories about people harming themselves or something.
I know.
Because it's no matter how much money they have or where they live or what they did, it's because they weren't happy or something was going on inside that they couldn't get help for. And that's the sad part.
You got to fix the internal before you get the external because getting a lipo BBL won't solve all those problems. So
you are correct.
It sometimes makes it worse because you start spiraling and going in this negative headspace after surgery. So you girlies just really got to get that mental headspace. And even starting therapy, there's a lot of free therapy options out there. Even your therapy's covered through insurance. So just look into those options and maybe go to therapy even 6 months, 3 months at least, just to get that good headspace. It's really important. Well, Amanda, girl, this has been an amazing podcast episode. You've shared so much. You've been so open, so honest. I know you made us all laugh, and I appreciate you so much.
I had so much fun, girl. We should do this every week. I was like,
I'm going to have a segment with Amanda.
Yes, girl. This was really fun. I really loved your questions, girl. Like, I really hope that I helped someone listening or at least gave them just a little bit of advice or at least made them think different about surgery and just the aesthetics community.
Yeah.
Because it could be a lot these days,
It
especially these
is.
days.
No, it definitely is a lot, and I'm glad you said that, and they need to be aware of that, and I think we definitely touched on a lot of hot topics and hot points, and you girls, Amanda is consistent. You're posting every day, and you better keep posting every day, girl, so all the girls
Girl,
can
you
go
have no idea.
over.
I literally have an app now. I'm so serious. I got the app to schedule my post. Like, I'm not playing.
Hey, she ain't playing. End of the
So
year,
hopefully this
grind.
time next year, girl, I am booked and busy. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Keep on putting that good, educational, entertaining content out, and the followers will come because, like I said, there are not a lot of plastic surgery platforms out there with trusted girls or individuals spreading the word and information.
Keyword trusted, yes.
Clock it. Well, we will definitely be collabing with Amanda and tagging her so you guys can go see her page and all her information and her story and her background and her aesthetics business. So that'll be really fun. You are the best, and I know it is late. Girl, we've been talking an hour and something minutes.
I know.
It went by so fast. But thank you so much for coming on the pod. And girls, we will be talking to you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.